Hello and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. In this episode, I am trying to do this while not being in a thunderstorm. It's really weird. There's thunder going on outside my house, but there is no rain whatsoever. So it means that there's lightning somewhere, but it's not supposed to rain where I live. It's the most bizarre phenomenon that's going on right now. So, I'm really hoping this doesn't affect any of my recordings, heaven forbid any of my equipment as well. So I'm taking a huge gamble at this time. Let's get right back into the prep phase of the class trial, and just hope that I can make everything better for Chihiro, who may or may not have actually been a guy the entire time. A little bit of a break as I was setting up the skills from the last time, from where I cut off the episode. Just as I'm doing that, the rain starts to come in, and apparently it is coming down hard and fast. God, the weather changes so fucking fast and bizarrely. It doesn't really matter. Let's just get into this and hope for the better. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Chihiro, I'm coming. Or, I'll avenge you, really.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
As was the last one.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then
we all
I'll
get
punish
punished.
everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay,
Makes sense.
Then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon.
The suspected blunt force object. First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. There's only one thing that could have been used. The locker room dumbbell. Yes, thank you, game.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yep.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
What?
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Okay, from the last time, what I want to do is I want to allow all the, sayings or everything that's going on to be said, just because there's a bunch of voice lines that I missed just because I jumped on the points that were being made. So it's good to at least hear everything. So this is just going to, let it go quicker. Also, no, not here, sorry, excuse me. F2, is it? No, it's not here. Then, where is it? Oh, well. It doesn't matter. There was one time when I, like, skipped right ahead over some dialogue, that wasn't in my recording, but I did happen to see in, the episodes that I'm watching from the other Let's Play of this game. There's a function where you can speed through the lines a little bit faster. I have no real reason for it, but it's at least important to acknowledge that it's there. The weapon had to have been at the scene of the crime. There was something with a bloodstain on it. Yes, thank you.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file,
I just have to
the
wait
killer
for
used a blunt instrument.
Hero's line.
What kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Wrong. Damn, that almost missed. Sorry, Hero.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell.
Uh-huh.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
I mean, plus, I have no idea where the fuck Hero even got the idea of the lead pipe.
You looked at her head wound?
You're supposed to.
Yay! That's so creepy!
you guys not watch detective movie? Okay.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit.
Okay, Byakuya, I'm not letting you take control of this one.
Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
Oh, you motherfucker, shut up.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. What is coming up? For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. White noise, okay. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines. Okay, your truth bullets will disappear. Huh, interesting. So think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, okay, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. But you still only have one bullet, I thought. Oh well. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease. So take careful aim when you have your silencer out. But wouldn't that also just give me the actual thing? Why was the narrator silent? Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. Okay, I've got it on medium or whatever the hell it is. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun. Let's make the argument. Genocide Jack case file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Not exactly.
What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so speaking of Genocide Jack,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is.
Oh. Okay. Okay, the thing Byakuya showed me in the archive, one look at that and anyone would be convinced. I'm not! However, it shows that this was the work of Genocide Jack. Okay, I think it's...
is Genocide Jack.
I think it's only, Hina's line.
As far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on.
I gotta get rid of the white noise.
There's just no proof for it.
Sorry, Hina, but that's where you're wrong. No, that's wrong. That's gonna be ingrained in my ears just like the bell.
Might know one reason he could be involved.
Two, actually.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library.
Who's I?
I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
Can I just say I love Mondo's voice actor?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case.
But there's more than that, Byakuya.
The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Okay, you feel me?
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Thank you. The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, in which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, it has something to do with the positioning of the body. The bloody message, how the victim was positioned, where the murder took place. Where the murder took place is also kind of technically correct, because that was in every file that was kind of in front of me. How the victim was positioned.
I got it!
I mean, it kind of just wrote it, but...
in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
Are you so sure about that, Byakuya?
Fucking way.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
At least she doesn't even recognize
Genocide
it.
Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure. I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also not be Toko. The answer is that she's just not one person, but multiple people, right? Hangman's Gambit. Fuck. Alright, what am I spelling exactly? T-I... What? Oh, hold on. What exactly could I be spelling here? What? Split personality? What? Oh, hold on. F, I can't. Okay, S. It's gotta be I. Oh, no, what? So, hit. What the hell could I be spelling? Schizo? Is that what I'm... But where's the letter O?
Now I understand.
That's not what split personality is, though.
Because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
That is so wrong on so many levels. No wonder I didn't know what I was spelling. What?
Huh? I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have... what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable.
Not really.
Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
I'm still thinking that maybe Byakuya told Toko to maybe act like that. I don't know. The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behavior. Her behavior change. Is this game just...
I got it! You're talking about how
I don't
she
like how it's
started acting
giving me the
totally
answers.
different than usual, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm still not 100% sure about this. I'm fine. A lot more focus-driven, but oh well. Whoa! Is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? And the creepy laugh. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'm still not 100% sure on this. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story.
I don't like how much you drive this.
She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
Yeah, but why would you immediately jump to that conclusion that it's Genocide Jack? Can you fucking say anything?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
But,
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
Maybe it's the same sort of situation as me being used by, Sayaka, in which that somebody who is infatuated by the other person will just literally take the fall for the others, and then everyone else just dies in the, for that reason.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
Because she said that she kept her end of the bargain.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry. Wait. What? I don't... okay, maybe I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise. Don't worry. Never again. I swear to God that wasn't right. I won't let Genocide Jack have control again. Maybe I just misread.
If I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
but your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom. The next second...
Wow, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Genocide Jill. Huh. Okay.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
I love this art.
So intense.
Like they say, sound and murderous mind, sound and murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
I'm just taking everything at face value while having, like, severe doubt in the back of my mind.
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us?
Wait a minute, I just thought about it. The possibility that Byakuya used, killed Chihiro in the men's bathroom, possibly making Chihiro a boy, and then he dragged Chihiro's body back out into the main room, and then, Toko just orchestrated everything in the other room. But why swap everything? I mean, obviously they have to try and put the blood that was splattered in the boys' room onto the other... Oh, well. But, like, why? I'm just wondering.
If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack.
Ah, that's how you were able to orchestrate this. Nice thinking, Byakuya.
If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but... something's still bothering me. What she said. I need to get some more details about all of this. What exactly are you... Okay, non-stop debate. Status of the dead body. Which thing?
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No.
What more proof do we need?
Okay, this voice actress is really impressing me. I gotta give props to this voice actress. Okay. I just have to focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must have the answer. That should prove what he said isn't quite right. Also, I don't think I ever mentioned that the bodies were hung up with the scissors that were used to kill, but... Oh well.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
It's gotta be... Hold on. Hold on. Just so I know what button. Hold down the control key to speed up the debate. Okay, that's weird.
Perhaps if you had an...
Oh, an alibi, huh?
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Bitch! I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Give it up. You killed her.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot that one was gonna be right in the middle of it.
Sorry, but I didn't kill her.
You say that. But
Perhaps if you had an...
Oh, an alibi.
when you compare your past murders to
Right
this
after this.
incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Wrong!
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong! I can't quite match it, but oh well. No, that's wrong!
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
That's right, my boy Makoto!
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
I wonder if those were chosen specifically.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference. The victim's fatal injury. The style of the bloody message.
I got it!
I got it!
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
Mm-hmm.
And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Thank you, hero. It makes me uneasy and queasy in the stomach.
Saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Yep. That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. And also their shirts and their stomachs just to drive it through. Here you'll see a clear difference. What was used to suspend her...
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement.
I'm still wondering if this character is actually honest to goodness, like, Genocide Jill, because the only people that should know are high-ranking officer policeman, myself, and Byakuya, and technically the murderer. Unless she, Toko, was told about this, is what I'm still wondering about. There could technically still be, maybe possibly, dissociative identity disorder somewhere in there, but I think this is all just an act, and I'm still on the fence.
Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac?
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Oh, Makoto, yeah. I was like, what?
Big Mac, there's actually one more difference!
And that is...
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case!
That completely went over my head that they were all male. Oh my fucking god, I'm so dumb.
There, just waiting to be discovered.
Pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figured it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro. Because Chihiro was a girl! Because Chihiro was her lover. Okay.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaku, 23. Sorry, I'm like, my mind has to process the names just because my American brain is not used to them. Kano Issei, 14. Takeshi Yoshida, 30. Kamatsuna Taro, Takafumi Gono, Uchida Naohia? I'm sorry. Takeshi Masamune, Yuto Yumijima. There was no end to it.
They were all guys?
Mm-hmm.
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
Oh.
The hell is wrong with you?
But more props to the voice actress.
I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
Oh.
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
No. Oh. Okay, crazy bitch.
She's fully equipped. That's right, so I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can you gutter dogs, all of you.
Gutter dogs? Mean?
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
I'm still... In the back of my head, there's also the matter of the e-handbooks. I'm still trying to figure out of whether or not Leon's was used and is still just somewhere else right now. Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. it would have to be Byakuya, right? This is a strange jump. I think.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it?
Like, this is a logical solution, but it's such a big jump from where everything else was lying. Like, I don't understand the flow of that. Like, that writing's a bit funky.
You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. There's a sweat droplet forming.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Well, maybe it's not forming, because he still could have used, Toko to kill whoever. But I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck she would have picked up that fucking dumbbell.
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Ugh.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
Wouldn't she just have killed him, then?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. When you agree. Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody's searched the locker room. Let's start with the girls' locker room. Yeah, why would you immediately just go into there, dumbass?
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
Yes.
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
But it is.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Yes, because I don't know what these elements are. Next, we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. What? Memorize? This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. What? Can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. Oh, okay. That's what I was confused about. I was just like, but if it dissolves, do I get a limited amount of uses, and does that cause me damage? If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Yeah, which part exactly am I refuting? Alright, let me listen out. Monokuma file number 2, gotcha.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
We didn't know who the victim was, though. We just knew that there was a victim. Hearing Byakuya's comment about Chihiro being a girl, I realized there was a clear contradiction there. Because it doesn't make sense how he could have known Before we'd even found it. Okay. I have to make that contradiction clear.
So,
I have to
you said
hold this,
Byakuya
right?
was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Indeed.
Like he was acting
Speed it up. Woohoo!
The opportunity. That's unnatural.
The victim was Chihiro.
No, it's wrong. I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Come on, are you
But
sweating?
your reasoning is still too weak.
Why? What makes you say that?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What? What do you mean? What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. Oh. He doesn't care even if he's found out. I guess he didn't deal the fatal blow. So even if we do find out that it's Toko that killed for Byakuya, he's still okay. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there. What could it be? Okay. Non-stop debate. Let's listen out for it. Library desk lamp. That doesn't seem to help at all, so I got a contradiction one.
You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
Okay, maybe I can use this.
It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
You little bitch.
Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
You tiny, insignificant insect of a bitch. The proof that Byakuya did it is hidden within the rope. I guess it's possible, but first, the item she had been bound with was used like rope. But was it actually a rope? No, it wasn't. Byakuya didn't use rope. He used a very specific object. Let's speed this up all the way to the very end. Like right around here somewhere. It was either the last one or the second to last one.
Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before
You
in my life.
bitch, I forgot about that one again!
Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away
I saw
somewhere.
orange and I was just like, okay, maybe it's just not here. Well, I didn't realize I could skip through that as well.
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right. Then there must be
Hey, Byakuya, where'd
Right
you
after
get it
this.
from, huh?
Alright.
Never seen that rope before in my life.
You bitch!
No, it's wrong.
Break.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm. Totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room. Does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. The extension cord, Genocide Jack's presence, the scene of the crime. Not everything is there. And everything isn't that was there originally.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later.
There we go, Makoto.
Along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I do.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto.
Uh-oh.
If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker rooms. Which one do I want to present? Probably just the poster, but I could also... Boys' locker room... I could swap either of these, right? I'll go with the poster, I guess.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
I love this voice actress now, being able to have this much range. My god.
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
Thank
You're
you.
referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Yes, that's my girl.
Protein coffee? While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. into the boys' room. Oh, yeah, that's right. I gotta right-click. Sorry.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
What?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime?
To swap everything else.
Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
Unless she was the one that was borrowing it. Which has been on my mind this entire time as well. I've just never mentioned it just because I'm still debating on whether or not Chihiro's even a girl.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Okay, okay, so this possibility is going to bring up that she could have used it. Broken e-handbook.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What then?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Sorry.
If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
That's where you're wrong. Theoretically, if Chihiro was able to use Leon's handbook, she could get into the boys' locker room. But when we found Leon's handbook in the main hall, there's no doubt that it was... In which case, can we really say that she used it? Yeah. Still up in the air, though, which is the biggest issue.
I'm sure that would have... No, I don't... She used the thing that was in... Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Sorry, Hero. You bring up a good point, but... it's not all there.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
I love that.
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh.
Still not 100%?
Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Love Sakura.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook! The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring!
Okay, so that doesn't... that limits my thing of her possibly breaking it.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Now hold on. Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? Still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial?
What?
I'd like you all to come see something.
A break? You know what? That actually sounds like a pretty good idea. And in fact, it's almost an hour right now in the recording. So, sorry that I have to end the recording like this. Oh well. Hopefully you're looking forward to more and seeing what revelation Kyoko actually has in store for us. I actually don't even know if I can save it right in the middle of this. Can I? I can, indeed I can. And with that saved, I can end this episode here. Thanks for coming out. Hopefully you're looking forward to more. I'll leave you with one final message. Have a nice day.